Hey, what's up everybody, Nexel here. Today we are playing Kingdom Hearts Union Cross, and I'm going to talk about what you're supposed to do with the extra Magic Brooms, Fantasia Mickey B's, and Magic Mirrors that have likely been stacking in your inventory since Tier 7 medals came out. Because whenever you pull and you get a Tier 7 medal, it automatically comes with all the Magic Brooms, all the Fantasia Mickey B's that you need already loaded onto that medal. So you've likely been stacking these resources because of Union Cross missions, because of Coliseum. I actually don't think Coliseum has them as a reward anymore. I could be wrong. Because of the rating boards, because of pulls, because pulls sometimes come with Magic Mirrors or Fantasia Mickey B's, Magic Brooms. So you've likely been stacking these. So we're going to go ahead and talk about what you're supposed to do with them all today. So before we go on, because newer players sometimes don't know what these resources do. So we're going to go ahead and do a brief overview of what each of these resources do. So this is the Magic Broom, and what you do is that you take the Fantasia Mickey A's, which you get from quests randomly, and then by combining Fantasia Mickey A with 5 Magic Brooms, you're going to be able to create a Fantasia Mickey B. Now, what Fantasia Mickey B's do is that they act as a pseudo version of the medal in order to increase the number of orbs that the medal has up until its special attack bonus is unlocked. Now, that was a lot of terminology, so let's just go ahead and show you an example. So if we go to our tier 4s, we have this Prime Violet, which does not have its special attack bonus unlocked. If it did, it would have this number right here, so the tier it is, as well as the percentage that it gets as a bonus. That would be shown, but in this case it's not because we need to unlock it. So what you do is that you can combine Fantasia Mickey B's into this medal, and then it acts as a means of filling that gauge, filling those orbs until you can unlock the special attack bonus. Now what happens is that after you do that, you end up with a medal that has a range for its special attack bonus. So in the Prime Key Art 17 that we looked at earlier, right here, so it says 130%, and that's the maximum it could be. But when you use Mickey and Brooms, or when you put more of that medal, unlocking those orbs and getting that special attack bonus, you end up in a range. So let's go ahead and go here. So let's look at this Illustrated Xemnas. It does not have its special attack bonus maxed, otherwise the numbers would be in orange. But what you can do is that whenever you either throw a Fantasia Mickey B, or whenever you throw the same copy of the medal, it'll show you this range. So attempt to raise special attack bonus from 100%, and this is the range where the numbers can land in. It can land anywhere from 60 to 130%, but the outcome will never be lower than the current bonus percentage. So essentially what that means is that if I tried to fuse these two together, the special attack bonus I get from it would be anywhere between 100 to 130. It would not go down, it wouldn't go down to 87, nothing like that. So what they invented were Magic Mirrors. So what Magic Mirrors do is that they essentially bump up that guilt percentage or that special attack bonus percentage by 1% all the way up until the maximum, which remember in this case is 130%. So that's what all of the resources do. Now we're going to talk about what you're supposed to use them for. For a long time, they were actually pretty useless until they came up with those revival medals. So those are the medals that can be upgraded from a lower tier up until Supernova and Tier 9. So let's go ahead and look at our example for the day, which is going to be Illustrated Ventus. Now, Illustrated Ventus was a medal that got the Supernova treatment. It became upgradable, and what that means is that I can evolve it from a Tier 4 into a Tier 9 Supernova medal. Now, in order to do that, I need to have 6 total copies of the Tier 4 7-star version. So, let's take one more look here. So we don't have 6 7-star copies of the medal. So the reason that I like this revival campaign, that's what I'm calling it, where they bring new old medals and then make them Supernova medals, I'm calling it the revival campaign. What I like about it is that it makes use of those resources that we just talked about that were essentially useless. And I forgot to mention this earlier, but the other resource that it brings back to life is actually going to be these fairies here. So again, after 7 stars came out, there was really no need for the fairies because most medals already came 7-starred, so there's no need to upgrade them from a 6-star version to a 7-star version. So for example, right here, so in order to evolve this from 6-star to 7-star, I need to be able to use these the blue fairies, which essentially again were outdated resources until this revival campaign. So let's go ahead and head over to our Illustrated Ventus. Now again, I need 6 total 7-star copies in order to bring it up from tier 4 regular version into tier 9 supernova. Now, what I've been telling people is that you're supposed to save these medals. So regardless of if they're 6-star or 7-star, you should be saving them. And the reason for that is because even if you end up with this copy, so a 6-star copy, none of its orbs filled, not 7-star, you can't use it yet. What you can do is that you can use those resources that I talked about before in order to bring this up to 7-star and make it material to make that supernova medal. So let's go ahead and show you what I mean. So right now, it's 6-star, no orbs filled. Luckily, we have Fantasia Mickey B's, so that'll fill up the orbs, and you need 6 Fantasia Mickey B's in this case. So now that we're going to unlock its special attack bonus, it's going to fall in that range anywhere between 60% to 130%. So in this case, it landed at 123%, which is really, really good. But again, in order to evolve it from a 6-star version into a 7-star version, you need to 1, max out the level, and 2, max out the special attack bonus. So in this case, we're 7% short of maxing it out. But we have magic mirrors, which have just been accumulating in our storage, and then we could bring this up. So we bring it up all the way to maximum, essentially. So now that it's maxed, we're able to evolve it. But first we got to give it some experience. So let's go ahead to experience and let's just optimize it. Okay. So we meet the requirements now from evolving it to a 6-star to a 7-star. So let's go ahead and evolve it. And one more thing I want to show you right before we do that. So if we look at this one here, this is the one I want to evolve. It's got dual damage and raids. So right now it says held 1. Meaning I have one other copy of the 7-star version. So let's go back here, and let's go ahead and evolve the one that we just maxed out. So again, we're using the tier 4 blue fairies in this case, a resource that died and then came back for this, and now we have a 7-star copy. Now if we go to that same medal and try to evolve it, now the number that it says is held 2. So essentially what I'm doing is that I am saving these old resources. I am saving these ungilted or no special attack bonus unlocked 6-star versions in order to make use of them. Like all of those X resources, all those past resources that had essentially no use. And then this revival campaign gave them purpose again. So let's go ahead and unlock this guy. Hopefully it's above 100%. It's 86%. So, doesn't really matter because we have just a crazy ton of magic mirrors. So before I actually started putting things together, I started this out with 1,818 magic mirrors and 234 Mickey brooms. Or I'm sorry, the Fantasia Mickey B's is what they're called. And now this campaign where they bring back all these old medals is making use of these resources which died for a long time because you didn't need them. The medals that you pulled already came pretty much max gilted, max special attack bonus unlocked. You didn't need to worry about raising it up, trait rolling, or I'm sorry, guilt rolling, all of that stuff. But now with this revival, we're able to make use of these resources again in order to make medals that are now relevant again. So we're almost done with this one, and I believe we have 2 more to max out before we can make our 7-star version. So this is, in my opinion, the correct way to use these resources. So some people will use their 6-star copies as traits for a 7-star version, but with the medals that can be upgraded to Supernova or even Supernova Plus pretty much, it's just better to have like one really, really good copy than it is to have 6 useless copies in your inventory. So we're using more tier 4 blue fairies, we used more magic brooms, more Mickey brooms. Again, you make the Mickey broom or Fantasia Mickey B's by slamming on the magic brooms onto Fantasia Mickey A. There we go. Alright, so this one only needs 4 Fantasia Mickey B's. Perfect. Please be above 100% because then we save more magic mirrors. 91. Okay, not bad. So then we slap on more magic mirrors. And we just essentially repeat this until we have 6 7-star copies. Now keep in mind, in order to evolve from a low tier into that tier 9 supernova, you cannot use boosted versions of the medal as material. It has to be the one you're upgrading or it has to be separate. You can't use it as upgraded material. So let's go here. Almost done. Luckily, it's a pretty easy process. All I'm doing is just swiping. And then we have to bring it up to level 100 before we can bring it up to 7-star. Alright, boom, maxed. Nice. Let's go ahead and grab our experience, and then let's level it up. Alright. Let's evolve it using our tier 4 blue fairies again. And now, we only have one left. Sorry, I made that sound really epic and then I messed up. But let's go ahead and finish this one off here. So using all our resources to the best of their capabilities, because remember, in this game, you don't want to have wasted resources. Like, that's just really bad. It's essentially like you earn things that are useless to you, but this makes good use of those resources again. So now we have 6 7-star copies. So we have to unlock all of them first. So we have to unlock the ones we're using as material. So that one we're actually keeping. We are going to use that one. We are going to use this one. And we are going to use this one. Okay, so this is the one that we're upgrading. Again, in order to upgrade, we have to have that maximum level. So if we tried now... Oh, wait, I'm short one. Here it is. Okay. This should work now. There we go. Okay. So in order to upgrade it, because as you can see, the evolve button's grayed out, I got to bring that level up. So let's go ahead, bring the level up. Where are you? Right here. And let's go experience, optimize. Optimize again. And we're going to bring this up all the way to level 120. And there it is. Okay, so we got like a boost on that one. So, now we have, when we originally started with 2 7-star copies, 1 6-star copy that had its special attack bonus unlocked, and 3 copies that did not have any special attack bonus unlocked, and no orbs, none of that gauge filled. Now we have 6 7-star copies by making use of old resources and recycling them to give us what we need. So, now we have this version, this 7-star version, and we can upgrade it from tier 4 into a tier 9 supernova now. So let's actually take a quick picture of this, because this is actually really sweet. This is the first time I've ever been able to pull it off, and it's the first time I've ever been able to make a video like this because of it. So, again, to recap, they were old resources before. With these metals coming back as supernova, you can reuse them the way I just showed you. And now we have a supernova illustrated Ventus. Really, the only thing it's missing at this point is a skill. So it doesn't even show up on our tier 4s anymore. So all it's missing now, let's see if we can find it. It's missing a skill. It is missing the experience points to bring it up to 120. And I'm also missing some, well, I don't want to bring it up quite yet, but the tier 9 dual Meow to bring it to Supernova Plus. So we went from 6 copies that were not useful at all, and then a bunch of resources that were useless sitting in our inventory, and we were able to make something that is useful to us right now. So, if we go here and look at the traits, it inherited the traits of its 6-star / 7-star copy because I picked it. We did lose the copy that had defense plus 2000 and max gauges plus 2. I don't really care about those traits. If anything, the raids was more relevant. But that's essentially the gist of this video. How to use your old resources, how to use metals that aren't good anymore, and then make them into something useful. So if we look at the other Supernova upgradable metals, so we have these Terras. So I'm only 1 Illustrated Terra Ace short right now. I am 1 Illustrated Aqua Ace short right now. I am 3 Casual Roxases away. Essentially, you get the gist of it. Make use of those old resources, these resources that you're getting that you don't know what to do with, and use them to make things that are useful to you right now. Because again, that new Ventus is infinitely more useful to me now than it was as all those broken copies, and it saved me some inventory space. Where did he go? Did I miss him? He was here a minute ago. I promise he was. There he is. Okay. So, that's just my little tip, my little trick to make sure you're making the most of your game and to make sure you're making the most of your resources. Because again, you don't want to waste resources unless you really have to. Like if you have too many tier 2 copies of something and you want to just sell them for inventory space, things like that. But hopefully this was a nice video to kind of teach you what to do with your resources. Save all the medals that you know can be upgraded until you can make that upgraded copy. Because again, those illustrated Ventus A's, useless to me as 6-star versions, as 7-star tier 4 versions. They were useless. I didn't use them. But now I can use this Supernova Illustrated Ventus in things like PvP. I can use this one specifically for raiding because it's got 2 damage in raids plus 40% traits. So again, we took things that were essentially garbage to us and made something brand new that is useful for today in right now's climate. So hopefully that was a nice little video. As always, if there are any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to drop them down in the comments below. I'd be happy to answer when I have the time. But as always, everyone, until next time, take it easy.